Come on, Livingston, we're gonna go on and on and on. Together we can make it. We're gonna go on and on and on. Come on, Livingston.
Knocks it through. Mullen bursting into the box. Josh Mullen.
Together we can make it.
Mullen's ball across, it's thrown in! It's Pittman who's got it! Livingston leads!
Road is long.
Can they get the ball back in? O'Brien. Lead! And Livingston have the lead! Man, can score.
If we march together.
The full-time whistle blows and David Hayes celebrates. And the Livingston fans join in exultation.
Come on, Livingston.
Livingston have the lead against Rangers, and they are certainly rising to a few occasions on their return to the top flight in Scotland.
Hello and welcome back to TalkLivi for episode 23 of the season. We're back as usual with more Livi related content, including post-match interviews, plus loads of reaction and special features from the usual guys. Well, actually, it's not the usual guys in a way, because as it's the January window, we've decided to take some listener feedback on board, and we're Andy free this week.
Simple out.
So, my name's June. I'm joined just by Callum this week. What's been another busy week for the club. So coming up this week, we take a look back at the midweek game with St Johnstone. Another great win to continue our run of form.
We'll then hear post-match interviews from the Hamilton game as Gary Holt and Aaron Taylor-Sinclair give us their thoughts following the win.
We then talk about the Hamilton game, an unexpected goal fest at the FoY Stadium, a 6-goal thriller and plenty to get our teeth into.
It's the return of TalkLivi Question Time for the new year. We answer the questions put to us by you, our listeners.
And finally, we preview our game with Motherwell as we welcome high-flying Motherwell to the Tony Macaroni Arena.
So Ewan, we'll just jump right into it. Wednesday night's game, a narrow 1-0 win over St Johnstone as predicted. What do we make of it?
Yeah, I thought probably the opposite of what we were kind of expecting, in my opinion. I thought it was going to be really cagey. I thought St Johnstone would come and try and sit in a bit more, but actually I was really impressed with them. I thought they came and made a proper game of it, and it actually made for quite a good game of football, I thought.
It wasn't what we thought. It wasn't, both teams sitting back, afraid to lose. Both actually went for it.
Yeah, and as I say, it made for a really entertaining open game of football where there was plenty of chances for both teams. But I do think over the course of the game we probably edged it. I think first half, kind of first 15-20 minutes was pretty much cancelling each other out, but I think we started to get in behind them quite a lot. Lawson had a cracking free kick which hit the post as well. They had a bit of a penalty claim though first half, which I didn't think a lot of at the time, but then when I saw the highlights,
McCrory, was it?
Nah, it was he clattered into McCrory, but it was actually the Brown kind of nudge before it. But personally thought it was outside the box, the challenge, so it's not a penalty in that case, but the referee picked up. Brown could have been in a bit of trouble. But you mentioned McCrory, he was
different
the
class
star man on Wednesday night, and considering he only had 24 hours, really good debut.
Brilliant distribution. He looked comfortable coming for crosses. There was a couple maybe wee dodgy moments. I think Kieran Brown bailed him out.
Clearance in the second half.
Yeah, but no, he was brilliant. It's particularly, I just mentioned there, his distribution. I think he found Dykes every single time.
Yeah,
Dykes I thought was absolutely superb on Wednesday night as well.
Yeah,
had a massive hand in the goal.
He won everything, eh?
He did.
He just won absolutely everything in there, and that's what you kind of half expect of him. But he proper roughed up Kieran Gordon, and I doubt they would have came off the park.
They'd had a good wee run as well. I think they'd had, was it 5 clean sheets in the last 6?
Only one
like
conceded in 6, so we caused them a lot of problems considering how well they've been playing at the back.
They look good on the break, which I expected. They've got the pace of O'Halloran.
Yeah. But he was a bit of a sore loser, I thought, when I was doing press. He mentioned the pitch. Imagine that coming out. But
shocker.
Going back to McCrory, obviously you're the goalkeeper, the resident goalkeeper here. I thought he reminds me a lot of Liam Kelly, which makes a lot of sense considering they both kind of came through the same setup at Rangers.
Yeah. No, he looks like a great signing. You know, we sort of thought it was a weird one, considering, you know, we've got Ross Stewart as well.
Yeah.
With Sarkic going, signed Schofield on loan. Maybe you've got two keepers on loan, which is a bit of a strange one. But you know, he's come in and he's done fantastically the first game he's played. And
well, I'd said last week I thought Stewart would just come in and be kind of number one again, and Jersey would be his. But obviously the Schofield injuries kind of made a change of plans with that. But we've actually got a question later on asking about the cup ties, and if Schofield's still out injured, it'll be Gary Malley that will need to go between the sticks, because McCrory is obviously cup tied. So Gary Malley could be
that's amazing,
helping lead us to Scottish Cup glory this season. Imagine. Absolutely brilliant. How good would that be?
That'd be the fifth keeper used as well.
Yeah,
I think.
Another couple of talking points. We can't not mention Keegan making his 300th appearance for the club.
Arguably man of the match as well.
Yeah, and Keegan came in and does what Keegan does. He was tenacious in the middle of the park. He was breaking things up as he normally does, and despite not playing for a few games, he came in and didn't look out of place at all, did he? And yeah, congratulations Keegan, because there's not going to be many players at Livi that reach 300 games, so the only one that's getting close is wee Pitts. So
tweeted him asking where he wanted his statue.
Yeah, there is some kind of weird statue outside the ground. We could
easily. I don't know what it is.
I don't know what it is, but can we get that replaced? Get a wee campaign going. Can we get that replaced with Keegan Jacobs celebrating the playoff?
Yeah, the one at Thistle.
Firhill.
Wow.
Yeah, I think that would be class, wouldn't it?
A shrine.
Yeah, a shrine to it. I kind of mentioned him a little bit. Pitts as well. How good is it to see him back to his best?
Back to his best.
We N'Golo Pittman just running about. You could tell.
2 and 2 now, isn't it?
Yeah, 2 and 2. Obviously, we'll talk about the Hamilton game in a bit, but it was just, you could see there was like a weight lifted off him when he got the goal, and all of a sudden he's turning and he's having a wee dig from 20-25 yards, which we haven't seen him doing.
Clark getting a couple good saves.
Yeah, exactly. And he was just being his usual self, and again, that we'll talk about it in the Hamilton game, but I thought he was sensational against Hamilton. We've missed that from Pittman, and Gary kind of talked about it after the game, that Pitts has been a bit down and he's been kind of hard on himself, and he always gets caught up in doing other folks' jobs, but he's wanting to break off dikes, and that's how he gets his goal. He kind of gambles and gets in the box.
Yeah, I was always a bit sceptical. It's easy for me to say. With him playing as a 10, because I've always felt he's more of a box-to-box midfielder.
Yeah,
and maybe the likes of Sibbald or Erskine, somebody like that. They're more the players that you'd think would play behind the striker.
Aye,
kind of threading through balls and with their vision, things like that. But Pittman's been absolutely different class in it. Just the way he breaks forward, as you mentioned.
Yeah,
he just ghosts past players.
I'm not saying he's in this calibre, but he's like a kind of Lampard Gerrard type midfielder that arrive late in the box, and hopefully that's Pitt's kind of turned a wee corner now, and second half of the season he can really kick on and get back to the form that we all know and love to see him producing every week.
Got to mention our home form as well.
Oh, okay, it's amazing, isn't that?
Four clean sheets in the last 4 league games at home.
An aggregate 10-0 at home as well in the last 4 games. Just we've carried it on from last season, haven't we? Just we're tough to break down at home. Folk can mention the pitch all they like, right? But I think we're starting to. I'd spoken in earlier episodes about how we tweaked the back 4 quite a lot, and again we had to do that on Wednesday night, but I think we're maybe starting to settle down in kind of our shape, and there was a lot of changes in the summer, but I think that's now clicking. And Gary, what do you think of Gary's comment that he thought our squad's better than last year, our team's better than last year?
I was about to touch on that as we move on to the Hamilton game soon. I think I looked at our bench on Saturday. Unbelievable. The strength and depth, I think, is better than last season.
But we make 4 changes from the Race Rovers game. You wouldn't really say the team's got weaker.
No, exactly.
You make 3 changes for the Hamilton game from that. Again, you wouldn't really say the team's got weaker, and I think that
we've had a few injuries as well.
Exactly, I think that's what is the big difference this year. I don't think when players maybe get an injury or we make a change, it doesn't affect us maybe the same way as it did maybe would have done last year, which is great to see. But yeah, great performance, very valuable 3 points as well, and well, we'll talk about it shortly, but it obviously carried on to the Hamilton game.
Before we speak about the Hamilton game, as usual, we got after-match reaction from the gaffer, Gary Holt. Here's what he had to say.
Delighted, really delighted. It's always tough to play 3 games in a week when you've had 3 weeks off. And although it was Wraith last Saturday, they're flying in the top of League One, so they knew they were going to be at it. And then you play St Johnstone, an experienced side at this level. On Wednesday it was a battle to go again, and then to show the resilience from going a goal behind, to go 2-1 up, to go 2 each. I think we'd have lost that game last year. I really do think we'd have lost the game. But I thought to then get our noses back in front, then score another great goal, I thought we broke at times and could have caused them a lot of problems, and really pleased with a lot of play today. Aye, but it comes from doing their jobs first and foremost defensively. That's what it's all about. It's hard work that gets you results. Players, Hamilton didn't turn up today and then roll out the red carpet and say they go on and win the game. You have to graft, you have to put the shift in, you have to match their battle, and if you can do that, then you'll get a chance to play. And we've got players that, as you said, in the final third can go and play and can create and hurt teams, and I certainly thought we're attacking play at times was exceptional. At other times I thought we maybe took the wrong pass when we could have created a bit more. We'll have a wee discussion this week, shall I say. It's one of those things, hot-blooded, disappointed, and sometimes you'd say that if you're not disappointed getting subbed off, there's something wrong in football. So sometimes you've got to say, we're all in it, his blood levels are high, he's probably a wee bit pissed that he's been taken off. So we'll have a wee chat, because there's a right way and a wrong way to go about it, but it's nice to see that he cares.
Jack McMillan showed his versatility as well, switching back over to right back today, and impressed as well.
No, Callum, he played his proper position today. He's probably been versatile in the previous game. No, I thought he was exceptional. He came into the team early part of the season, done really well. We've had to work on certain aspects, his fitness levels, and dealing with the games and how to lead up to games, and how he prepares properly, because it's all new to him. But it showed today, I thought he was excellent. I thought our backline was excellent. Yeah, we lost 2 poor goals, we can look at that. But they stood up to the test, and that gave them the players in front of them to go and implement the game plan that we worked on during the week. But for the effort and the commitment that it showed today on the back of the game on Wednesday and last Saturday, delighted. We just take each game, and that's what I said. I spoke to Brian McLaughlin the other day, and he was talking about the games coming up and the cup game. I'm like, we solely focus on today. That's all we do. It's how we work. We just solely focus, and the players focus as one game at a time. Because we might not get to see them games down the line. We might not get to them in this game. I might get sacked if we lose 5 games in a row to get to there. So we solely focus and analyse and how we're going to play each individual game. And if you do that, you'll get wins. You'll get points, and that's all it is. It's just about picking points up. And yeah, I'm delighted, over the moon where we're at. But it's a building blocks to where we want to get to. No, because I think a winter break last year we were 29 points. Now we've only got 31. So the pleasing thing is, I feel last season we tapered off. We tapered off for one reason or other. A lot of agents got in the players' ears, and pre-contracts were signed by players leaving, which we knew. We juggled the team about to see players who are still with us this year, and some have left us, to see if they can cope at this level. So whereas I feel this year we're a better side, I think we're a better squad, I think we've got better players to kick on second half of the season, and that showed with the 2 games this week that we've had in the league. But we need to keep building on it, and I think they're only going to get better. Delighted for him, because he hasn't played since, what game was it?
November.
St Mirren away, he came off, so he hasn't played. He had a hamstring injury, and never easy. We haven't had any reserve games to get up to speed, so it just shows the work that we've been doing with him, and the work he's been doing as well during the break, to come in and play 90 minutes and I think he could have played in his slippers and a cigar, to be honest. I thought he was that comfortable. But we talk about the areas of the pitches that we want to get into. We show them during the week, we analyse it during the week, we put patterns in play during the week. So it's delighted when the other fullback's putting the ball in for one side, but other fullbacks in the area to score. And to be fair, I don't think he'll get an easier one.
Callum Carson then spoke to Aaron Taylor-Sinclair. A big thank you to Callum, as he's allowed us to use the full interview. So let's hear what Aaron had to say following the win and his first goal for the club.
Aye, a few of the boys will want to give Lyndon the goal, but definitely yours.
Yeah, I think a few of my friends have already messaged me saying that it's been put down as him, but I've made sure that it was me.
The gaffer was saying it kind of spoke a lot about the team, that it was the right back crossing it for the left back to score, so the job is defensively, but going forward, the 2 years are a real asset as well.
That's what we've worked on. I wasn't much training prior to the midweek game, but that's what we worked on yesterday, and just before it, we were putting a good ball, and I thought to myself that I should have maybe been in there. So the second time it came around, I made sure I was.
It was a few inches out, but you had to be there to score, I guess.
I don't know much. I've just seen it hit the net, so I'm happy about it.
Good stuff. How are you feeling? Obviously the first game in a wee while as well, so how are you feeling kind of fitness wise? First
day since Boxing Day. I've been fit for probably like 2 weeks now, but I didn't want to risk anything in the cup game, and then it was obviously a midweek game, so I made sure I was ready for this one. And
obviously you've signed an extended contract since your last game as well, so here for the rest of the season. You must be.
No, it's a big
no-brainer, I guess.
I can just sort of concentrate on the football now until the end of the season, and help the team continue this run.
All the boys say it's one game at a time, but when you look at the table, you get 8 points clear of top 6. You must be quietly confident that you can kind of stay in that position.
Yeah, no, the sort of team morale and the atmosphere, every time we're coming to training is very good, and that sort of leads on to when we're playing a match day. We've just got to keep the run going.
Stuff, and 4 different goal scorers as well today. It shows that it's not just Lyndon all the time.
Yeah, everyone's got to sort of pitch in when if Lyndon's not scoring, but thankfully he scored 1 today. But everyone's sort of pitches are getting a few goals now, so hopefully that will bode well for the future.
So it's been a great week. 3 wins out of 3, and our first win in Hamilton since 2012. Brilliant, yeah.
Yeah, great result. It's a win on the road as well, so we haven't had many of those. So I was really pleased with the overall performance. Kind of, what were your thoughts on the lineup when you saw it?
I heard it on the radio driving in. I expected Lawson. We obviously don't know the full extent of his injury, things like that.
I think it's probably the one he picked up early doors in the St Johnstone game. So,
but Taylor-Sinclair's obviously come in. Don't really need to say anymore. He's got on the score sheet. Played pretty well. McMillan's obviously gone over to his natural right back. I thought he's more comfortable at left back actually, which was a bit odd. But I thought had a solid game.
I thought Jack first 15 minutes was getting caught out by Miller on that side a few times, but as the game wore on, he just got better and better and better, and he grew into the game more than anything. What I liked about the lineup was we had players playing in what I would say are their natural positions. You had a right back at right back, you had a left back at left back, the wingers, proper kind of wingers, and everything like that.
Suda came in and did well, I thought.
Yeah, I thought Suda, he showed flashes, is the way I would say about Suda. Speaking of Suda, we'll come on to that in a wee bit, but it was a slow start to the game, wasn't it? It was kind of what we would have expected from a Hamilton Livi game, which was really scrappy, and I thought when they scored, I thought, oh God, they're doing this again to us. And I thought we were, what I always think when we go to Hamilton is they seem to drag us into their game,
like we do to teams,
rather than us imposing ourselves. But what I would say is the reaction to the equaliser and the reaction to going behind and the reaction to the equaliser in the second half was brilliant. And
right from kick-off we scored.
Great finish by Sibbald as well, wasn't it? Which, by the way, great news that he's signed an extension till 2022, so absolutely buzzing with that. But
he was another one of the changes just come in, and
I thought he was excellent yesterday. Really thought he was good. What my criticism of him from the Wraith Rovers game was maybe he was taking too many touches on the ball and slowing the game down. But yesterday it was one touch, move it on, one touch, move it on, and I thought, as I say, he took his goal brilliantly.
He looked more like the Sibbald we saw at Falkirk that we used to always. I don't know about you. I used to hate playing Falkirk when he was there.
Yeah, I think
one of those players that if he's on your team, you absolutely love him, but if you play against him, you're kind of wary.
Yeah, one of my close friends is a Falkirk season ticket holder, and he loves Sibs. He absolutely loves him. He still messages me every week when he sees him starting or when he gets a goal. He rates him very highly, and I agree with you. When I watched him at Falkirk, you always knew he was the danger man. You wanted to get someone kind of on him, following him about the park, trying to stop him playing. So
it's mad. We were speaking about earlier in the season him potentially leaving in January because he wasn't getting the game time.
Exactly,
but he's one of the names.
It's credit to him because he's came in when he's had the opportunity. He's taken his chance. He came in the Hibs game, scored a goal, was arguably man of the match for us that night. Easter Road, came back out the team again, then got his chance again, kind of playing in a position I maybe didn't expect him to, which was sitting in midfield, but it works quite well. I always like, you've got Bartley who likes to break the game up and mop stuff up, and then Sibbald's like your ball player who can keep the game kind of ticking over, and I think it's actually quite a good blend, the two of them sitting in midfield.
It's like when we're defending, it's sort of a 4-5-1. You've got the wingers tucking in, three across the midfield, Pitch comes back, and then but when we're going forward, it's more of a 4-1-4-1.
Yeah.
Sort of, or maybe even a 4-2-3-1. You've got Bartley who usually just sits, Sibbald and Pitts pushing on, and then I thought the wingers were different class as well.
Yeah, I thought
Wallace probably not his best game on against St Johnstone.
Yeah, what I would say is it tells you the standards that Lawless has set himself, that I was getting frustrated he was giving the ball away, because I always say how good he holds on to the ball.
Yeah.
So it's very unlike him when you see him getting dispossessed or playing a stray pass. But
another goal for him as well.
Yeah, I thought he was back on form against Hamilton Accies. But yeah, Aaron Taylor-Sinclair then stuck us ahead, all of 2 inches out. It's a great ball by McMillan, isn't it? Great delivery. And
I think he initially lost it, and then most fullbacks would probably just try and get back in their position, but he continued into the box and won it off the defender.
Yeah,
and it's a great ball in.
Taylor-Sinclair you can't really miss. But we were talking about how good a debut McCrory had. Had a wee bit of a I think
it's a blip.
Yeah,
but
it's young goalkeeper. We saw Matty have one earlier in the season against Motherwell. Ross Stewart last time we were at Hamilton had a couple of mistakes. It's obviously just a wee blip. He had made a couple of decent saves in the first half as well, so hopefully he doesn't play on it, and I'm glad it didn't kind of affect the result in the end as well. The penalty, have you seen it again?
I haven't seen it back, no.
It's kind of difficult. I've only seen one.
It's handball, isn't it?
Handball. I've only seen one replay of it, and I'd need to see it again to be totally honest. But again, I always talk about player reactions, and I thought 4 or 5 of our players all had their arms up round the referee, which kind of says a lot. And I didn't see too many protests from Hamilton either about it.
We're obviously at the other end of the ground, but
yeah, exactly. So it's very difficult for us to kind of pass comment on that.
Happened at the Sainsbury's American Diner end.
Oh yeah, the famous end with all their fans behind that goal.
On fans, okay, I'm obviously I had that crowd wanking rant, that rant, and I don't like to criticise support and things like that. I'm not criticising the support. Credit to every Hamilton fan that came. Credit to every Livi fan that came. But there must have been under 1,000 at that game.
There is no credit to the person that counted the fans entering the stadium, because 1,500.
No chance.
I said it right before the game kicked off. I went, if this crowd gets announced as over 1,000, they are having a laugh.
Same person counting the Brexit votes.
But let's get back to the game. Let's not get political. We got rid of Andy for a reason. He likes to get a bit political every now and then.
He does.
But let's get back to Scotty Pittman. Great finish yesterday. For me, he was man of the match. I thought one of his best games of the season. What were your thoughts on him?
Yeah, another goal. Clever finish.
Really clever. Dykes done brilliant for the goal as well, didn't he?
He's done that. We said that on Dykes. We said he may not get the goals.
Yeah.
He has got the goals, but he's also got several assists. I'm sure. I think it'll be different now. But I was reading after the Wraith game.
Yeah.
I'm sure he was involved in 40% of our goals, which is mental.
Yeah, exactly. He left the full back for dead, and then obviously the cut back. But again, Dykes was just a constant threat, and in comparison to the last time we played at Hamilton, just having that focal point, and that was the biggest thing yesterday. Was I just thought we stamped our authority on the game, and Brian Rice kind of said the same. I listened to his comments afterwards, and he kind of said the same. We put our stamp on the game. Now we kind of touched on Suda being back in the side.
I thought he played pretty well.
I thought for me he showed flashes, but then there was kind of sloppy moments as well. Like he'd ran the ball out of play a couple of times, or tried a trick where really he should just keep the ball ticking over and just play a simple pass. But his reaction to getting subbed off, I mean, Daniel Shaw, if you're listening, made a great analogy. He thought Gary Malley would be like the bouncer in a gangster film. You know, the tough guy would have Suda kind of pinned up on the wall and Davy Martindale just standing there talking to him. That would not surprise me at all, because I don't think Suda's going to get away with just a wee slap on the wrist with that. You can't react like that.
No, it's poor.
It's really poor. It's unprofessional.
You get the frustration, but it's a team game. I don't know.
Yeah, in a way, it's good that he's clearly passionate and he wants to remain on the park, but just go sit on the bench. If you have an issue with it, leave it in the dressing room. Don't do it out in the public eye. He was getting slaughtered on the radio for it as well afterwards, which I can totally understand. It's just petulant, but I think part of the problem with Suda is when he does a trick, he gets a round of applause every time, and I think it builds his own hype. He's
one of these fan favourites in a way. He's one of these players that gets you off your seat, things like that. But I don't get it personally. I think he's a great player. Yeah, he's a bit like, there was an old fan favourite, obviously Menga, which I again didn't get the hype of, just because he does step overs, things like that. Yeah. But you know, Suda's a great player, and he's come in. We didn't know much about him, but you can't react like that. Nah,
you really can't. But kind of moving on from that, our form has been for the last, since really the tail end of November. I mean, it's one defeat, Pittodrie, which, you know, a lot of teams will go up to Pittodrie and lose. So our run of form recently has been exceptional, which is, you know, Gary Holt mentioned it. He said 12 games that we had, which were going to be season defining. And I think I'd always spoke about how December, January, we had a good set of fixtures, and I think we've really taken advantage of that.
We don't look like falling away this season as well. We obviously had that brilliant start last year. I'm sure we've got more points now than we did at this stage last season.
What's good is we've kicked on after that break as well. You know, we've got a couple of wins, which has given us that bit of form. You've got all the pundits talking about as being certainties for the top six. Me personally, I'll keep my feet on the ground. I'll still take 10th.
Crazy though, isn't it? We're what, 8 points clear of Kelly and St Johnstone.
Yeah, that's exactly. But it's brilliant that you know, we've started picking those results after a really tough run of form where we'd only won 1 in 13. So, you know, credit to the gaffer and the players for kind of sticking at it, and you know, we'll move on to Motherwell next week at home, where hopefully we can keep the run of form going. TalkLivi Question Time returns for the first time this year. Thanks to everyone who sent in questions for us. So we'll just jump right in because we've got quite a lot to get through. So first up, are we happy with our current form, and what is the aim now? Is it still kind of 10th and above? Or should we be looking further and try to secure top 6? Bruni, I'll let you.
Form not good enough. Only 4 goals yesterday.
Holt out.
Should have been more. No.
Even Gary's laddie Ben was campaigning for Holt to get sacked.
I saw that.
What was it he was saying? Can't believe we haven't won the World Cup. Some will say Livingston is not a country.
He's brilliant.
Those fans are just negative, and so quite like that. Nah, for me, the aim for us every season is 10th and above.
I agree.
You know, anything above 10th is a brilliant achievement. we've put ourselves in a good position now.
It's well and truly on.
You know, to kind of go for the top 6. So I'm sure the players will want to finish as high as possible, but I'm almost going with the players' guideline routine media response at the start of the season. Let's go 45 points, 1 point better than last year, and you know what? It's an improvement, isn't it? So, and I was saying before the winter break, if we get 4 more wins, which would take us to 37 points, so another 2 now, that should see us safe, and then we can really, unlike last year, we can probably try and push on and go for that top 6.
6 behind Aberdeen.
Well, Aberdeen drew today, didn't they, against St Mirren as well, so
0-0 written all over it.
yeah, I kind of had that vibe about it, that game. But
didn't watch it.
Nah, for me, look, as long as we finish above those bottom 2 places,
yeah,
it's a successful season for us. Should we try and push for the top 6? Of course you should try and push higher, but at the same time you need to be realistic, and you know, if we do miss out in the top 6, it's not, I would never class it as a failure of a season or anything like that.
Look at the games we've dropped points in as well. You know, I'm not being negative for 1 second.
Yeah.
We're where we are.
Oh no, I mean,
we deserve it. It's been amazing. But we spoke earlier in the season, you know, Hibs, we were 2-0 up. St Johnstone, we were 2-0 up.
Hearts late on.
Things like, I mean, we could be
St Mirren as well, 3-1 up.
Just shows how well we've done, because even with those blips, we're still where we are, and it's unbelievable.
Yeah, exactly. So for me, of course, we should maybe try and push for the top 6 purely because of the position we're in, but it's not going to disappoint me. I always talk about it. Steve said it when we interviewed him. When Partick Thistle finished in the top 6, he was like, I don't really get this hype about finishing top 6, because it's not something you're going to tell your grandkids about. I finished in the top 6 once. Like, so I don't.
Maybe if he does it twice.
Nah, maybe if he does it twice. So tell you what, that is a story for the grandkids stuff. So, next question. So, with the rumoured arrival of Alan Forrest, where do you see him fitting into the team?
Probably in the wing.
Yeah, because he's a winger. Nah, but Steve kind of has, on a serious note, he has that right hand side pretty much nailed down, doesn't he? And the one that alternates is the left, isn't it?
Brilliant at cutting in.
Yeah.
We had that obviously on Saturday there. Lawless on the right, left footed.
Yeah.
Suda on the left, right footed.
Yeah.
I think that worked well with Dykes, and they're both cutting in.
But also, the idea with your cutting wingers is that your fullbacks get on.
The fullbacks go round.
The fullbacks go down the outside, and you know, McMillan was doing that, started doing it a lot more, and Taylor-Sinclair gives you that as a natural left back. So for me, Forrest comes in, it would be that left hand side. There is obviously a bit of competition for places. You've got the likes of Suda, Robbo played there during the week against St Johnstone, so there's plenty of options. But as we say, that's the benefit we've got with the squad that we've made. There's always competition for places, isn't there?
I'd probably Forrest on the left for me. I think it'd be a great signing if we can get it done.
Yep.
So we've got another question here. What improvements would you like to see at the Tony Macaroni Arena with the Champions League money next year?
Champions League, you're being quite ambitious, because would that not involve us having to split the old firm?
Potentially.
Yeah.
I mean, they can't even get into the Champions League. I
mean, don't get me wrong, I love the enthusiasm after an away win.
Very optimistic.
But I think the Champions League is just out of distance for us. If you're talking Europe in general, I would still say we're probably going to be pushing it a little bit. I love the optimism though, but if we did, disco lights, definitely.
I don't know if I'm a fan.
Oh no, I love the disco lights, love them. Okay, what an atmosphere it helps.
Do you know what I'd like seriously on improvement? Like, I mean, I tweeted it during the week. The club's got to have a lot of credit, because okay, we've done fantastically on the pitch, but if you just look at in the tunnel, the mural, things like that.
Yeah. The
media room we saw earlier this week.
Yeah, you got the privilege of seeing that on Wednesday night, and cracking job to everyone who's kind of made that happen. Looks absolutely brilliant. So
got rid of the Motorola in one of the stands, things like that.
Yeah.
Updating the sponsor boards, just wee things like that. The lights outside the stadium now look brilliant when you drive past it.
Yeah, it's great, and there's little changes happening all the time, and with the kind of small workforce that the club has at its disposal, a lot of volunteers get involved as well. So well done to everyone for the continual kind of improvements behind the scenes at the club as well.
I'm a big fan of music after goals.
Right, okay.
I kind of want to touch on that. I think it would be class if we had we've got specific songs for players, things like that.
Right,
say Celtic do it with Edward, the I want to be adored thing.
Yeah.
Maybe we I don't know, we put it's just a wee thing. It wouldn't change the world, but
players can pick a tune.
Players pick a tune for them scoring or something like that, or the fans pick one for the player. Like,
I like it.
Something
I like it.
that.
Next question: should we be trying to sign players to longer 3 or 4 year deals rather than 2 years, or is 2 years about standard for teams like us?
Yeah, probably 2 years. What we've seen, Sybil, 2.5 years there.
Yeah.
We signed Bartley for 3 in the summer. I think two or 3 probably. A team like ours, players aren't going to want to commit maybe for that long.
For me,
because we're probably a team, maybe the likes of Dykes. Okay, he probably loves the club and he's doing brilliantly at the moment. But maybe players like that could see us as a sort of stepping stone.
Nah.
Like, he's not. Let's be honest, he's not going to want to finish his career at Livingston. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Nah, I think a club with our budget that we have at our disposal, I think 1 or 2 years is pretty much the standard. Bartley obviously a 3, but I think we were really keen to get Bartley, and maybe at his stage of his career he was looking for something a bit longer term as well, so maybe that's why we went with a 3 year for Bartley, which I'm not complaining about. But with our budget and the fact that we're a team that's expected to be near the bottom of the league, maybe players don't want to commit to a 4 year deal with us and then potentially be playing championship football. So, I think 1 or 2 years is the standard, and I think, again, with a club of our budget, we also can't commit to giving a player a 3 year deal or a 4 year deal. Again, because we're in that region of a team that might be in and about that area. I know we're not just now, but longer term, that's not always going to be the case.
Signing players and you can't get rid of them.
Yeah, and you're paying bigger money when you need to, trim down your budget and things like that. So for me, 1 or 2 years it's pretty much standard for us, and I would keep going with the model we're doing.
Speaking of contracts, get the chequebook out for Stevie Lawless.
Oh yeah, give him as much as you want.
Blank cheque, give him a pen, ask him how much he wants, how long he wants it for, sign it.
Yes, I agree. Steve, please sign the deal. We'd love you to stay. Next one we have is now we're not doing Does Your Fox in this week because we feel it's unfair, because Andy won't have the opportunity to give you false claims and things like that to back up his arguments. So, which of the following claims levelled at Livi does your Fox in the most? A. Long ball team. B. Small support and therefore don't deserve to be where they are. And C. Hatchet men.
Great question that, by
Bruni, I'll let you go first. And I feel like after your Does Your Fox in a few weeks back, I have a funny vibe as to what you're going to say.
Well, just reading it now, it's boiling my blood. I'm fuming, absolutely fuming.
You sound fuming as well.
I don't know. I'd probably.
I love how you convey your emotions really well.
I like this. They all annoy me. That's why it's difficult to choose. I don't know. Because I think I know what you're going to say, so I might go for the Hatchet men.
The Hatchet men.
I've obviously spoken about the support several times. Who cares? Attendances don't win you points, things like that. But
yeah.
we get branded as this. Okay, we get branded as the long ball team as well, which is annoying. But we get branded as this gang of absolute thugs. Like, prime examples. Motherwell do it every week, and they get away with it.
Aye.
I don't get it.
Oh, but Motherwell, how good are Motherwell doing
But
this?
they've got good young players. It's fine.
Nah, I agree with you. All three do my head in. The long ball team. Go and watch some of the football we played in the last couple of games. I think compared to last year, anyway, I think we do try and play a lot more. Option C, Hatchet men. Hatchet men, big physical team. When you have players like Keegan, Pittman, Robbo, Sibbald, how can you be classed as a big physical team with guys like that on your side? I don't know, but for me, the one is small support. Bullies. The small support, and you don't deserve to be in the top flight because you have small support. Well, you know what we do, because we've managed our resources best, our recruitment's been better. So Hearts deserve to be a top 6 club because they've got one of the biggest supports, but you know what, they're wasting their budget currently by sitting bottom of the league. Whilst we are managing the resources we have at our disposal, and punching so far above our weight, because our recruitment's been really good and the backroom staff have been really good and the club's been run properly. We do deserve to be where we are because of that. Small support just makes it an even better achievement, if anything, because our resources are even smaller.
And it annoys people.
And exactly, that's what makes it. Livi fans have almost developed this, everyone against Livi have developed that everyone against us mentality almost the last few years, because everyone keeps trying to put us down all the time, and I love it. I love it. We touched on Keegan making his 300th appearance. Another question was, with it being his 300th game this week, where does Keegs rate in our most important players of all time?
Up there.
Yeah.
If not the most important.
Yeah, I think for me, Keegan rivals the cup winning team and the original team that kind of took us into the Premiership.
Just purely because he's done it week in, week out for that period of time.
You know what? He's done it 3rd division, 2nd division, Championship, and now he's doing it in the top flight as well. The guy has done everything at the club, and he probably could have moved on several times, but you know what, he's stuck around, and yeah, for me he is, I'd arguably say, one of the biggest Livi legends of all time.
You saw that. I don't think it was a surprise that when Keegs left, he went to South Africa for about a year maybe.
Yeah,
if that. That obviously didn't go to plan, but I'm pretty sure he wasn't in the team that got relegated.
No, he wasn't. He left.
That's no surprise.
He left. He left at the end of the season. We'd done the Great Escape and won the Challenge Cup, and he obviously re-signed kind of halfway through the League One season. But when I remember getting a wee snippet sent through to me, Keegan's coming back, and honestly, I was buzzing, absolutely buzzing that he was coming back, because I've said it before, I think we're a better team when Keegan plays. I think there is a lot of competition for places just now, so maybe it doesn't quite affect the team as it used to anyway. But back then I was always like, when Keegan's fit, he's one of the first names in the team sheet for me. And he has been an absolute stalwart, and even now when he comes into the side, you saw that on Wednesday night, again just does his job. And
you're old enough to have grown up with that, the class team we had. I was too young, unfortunately. Seen several videos, things like that. I think I was maybe 4 or 5 at the cup final. Again, probably a bit too young, but so players like that, players like Keegan that I've watched. I've grown up watching Keegan Jacobs at Livingston.
Yeah,
and so for me, he's definitely up there, in my opinion.
Yeah. So last question we've got, with a few days left before the end of the transfer window, what, if any, moves should the manager make to equip the squad for the last 15 games of the season? And there's kind of a second part to the question. Also, now that we've accumulated more points than at the same time last season, what will our final points tally be?
Triple figures.
Are they changing the point system between now and the end of the season?
6 points away.
Transfer window, I know you had a couple that you've thought of for a wee while. We've got asked this question a few times. I've mentioned Forest, which is a deal that Gary's openly said we're trying to do, so I'll let you kind of take the lead on this one.
I fancied Tam O'Brien, who played with Arbroath, and Kevin Nisbet, who's at Dunfermline. They're maybe unrealistic signings, but a fee would need to be involved. These guys are playing obviously week in, week out in the Championship, and they're probably the star players at their club. I watched Nisbet during the week. He's obviously
against Dundee, wasn't he? He scored as well, didn't he?
Scored a great goal actually. He's obviously a striker, similar build to Dykes. He's quick, but he can also hold the ball up. So I think he'd suit us perfectly. Obviously, that would be if Dykes left. I still think we need a striker.
Yeah.
On loan, just maybe even on loan or a short-term deal. But that's the thing. That Dykes is playing 90 minutes every week. They'd only probably get a look in if they were injured.
Yeah, I think everyone talks about we need a striker. Maybe
just Hamilton back. I don't know what the deal is with that.
Yeah.
I don't know if we can recall him.
If we could, I would just do that, because for me, I don't see the point in us trying to spend money on getting another striker when we really only play with one up front. I think what we'll do in terms of the striker thing is we'll just see Robbo as the backup in case Dykes is out. And I think Robbo does a job up there, but maybe I've always said we maybe just need to tweak the way we play a little bit when Robbo's up there for obvious reasons.
Maybe like a different option off the bench. Andy's spoken about it a few times. Not actually Dale Carrick, but like somebody in the same mould as Dale Carrick.
Dale Carrick kind of had a poacher type. I always classed Dale Carrick as a front post striker.
Somebody nipping in,
yeah, and if any of you remember kind of some of the goals he scored whilst he was with us, it was always kind of, he was getting across the front post and kind of getting glances or wee flick-ons and things like that. So
Buchanan,
Wayne Buchanan, penalty box striker, but everyone's after one of those, aren't they? That's the thing, and January's such a tough window. So for me, I think we've started doing it, which was tie Sybil down. I said this when I done the Pure Football podcast during the winter break, and I got asked a similar question, and I was more inclined to say keeping players was more what I would say was a good January window.
Tying folk down, we've done with
tying folk down. The one player I talked about was Forrest, which, as I say, Gary's openly came out and said he's looking to get that deal done, whether it be on a pre-contract looking towards next season, whether it gets done in this window, that remains to be seen, but it seems like one we're close to maybe getting over the line. So for me, I don't think we really need to push any other business through. We've done the essential business, which was after Matty left, we got a goalkeeper in. We've actually now got two in, and then Kieran Brown coming in as well.
That's the thing. When I was speaking initially about O'Brien, it probably was before Brown. He's come in. He's actually done pretty well the last few games.
But as I said, he's playing in his natural position, isn't he, as a centre half, and he's looking pretty good as well. So, for me, don't really need to do much more business.
O'Brien was in that team, if you remember, the good Cowdenbeath team that always caused us problems. There was him and the Wedderburn.
Right, Nate Webb.
They used to always have 10 out of 10 games against us.
Yeah.
I don't know how they did the rest of the season, but every time they played us, it was like, maybe they hate Livi or something. I don't know. They were just proper pumped up for it.
Everyone hates us.
He's played part time for years.
Yeah.
I think he probably deserves. He's 28 now. I think probably deserves a step up.
So the second part of that question, we've accumulated more points in the same time last season. What will our final points tally be?
I mean, it's a tough question. Number off the top of my head, but I don't know. More than last season, I think. I think it's well and truly on.
If we could,
50 maybe.
I touched on it earlier on. If we reach the 45 point mark, it's an improvement on last year. But we're in a good position. That's 4 wins and a couple of draws, or 3 wins and a few more draws away. So that target is well within reach, and I think Jack Ross passed the comment that 40 points has managed to get you into the top 6 the last few seasons. So maybe that's a target. First of all, get to that mark, but obviously if you get into the top 6, you've then got a couple of games against the Old Firm who are inevitably going to be going for the title, and then you've got Motherwell and Hibs who are going to be going for Europe.
We've gone from actual League One jobbers.
Motherwell and Aberdeen, so it's a catch-22. Top 6, you've probably got a bit more money because you'll get another game with the Old Firm and probably better crowds, but bottom 6, you maybe got an opportunity at more points. So
we've gone from League One jobbers to potentially influencing the title race.
Love it.
Unbelievable.
Things you love to see it. So I would say 45 points. I know it's the cliche response. It was Gary's kind of drilled into the players at the start of the season, but
it's worked. We're not getting carried away at all.
Exactly, it's an improvement on last year, be it only a point. Considering the changes that were made, I would 14 points. Another 14 points on what we've got now take us to 45.
It's a big cliche again, but it genuinely is. Take each game as it comes. Focus on each game. Motherwell, don't look further ahead than Motherwell next week, because that's with our home form, that's winnable.
Yeah, exactly. But no, thanks very much. We had a heap of questions to get through as well, but sadly, apologies if we weren't able to get to them. But thanks as always for sending them in, and hopefully next time we do it, we'll get a few more answered.
Finally this week, we're going to look ahead to our next league game, as we welcome Motherwell to the fortress that is the Tony Macaroni Arena. That one obviously takes place on Saturday. Another tough game, but I don't think Motherwell will really be relishing a trip.
Nah, I don't think any team does. I mean, we've only conceded 5 goals at home this season. As you described it, fortress we're kind of making it into, and it's becoming just common knowledge for teams. They don't like coming to us. The game at the start of the season against Motherwell, I thought they were really lucky to come away with a point. Personally, I think we were very unlucky not to take all 3 points. Devlin had that chance late on to win it. And then the game over at Fir Park, again, I think we were unlucky not to take a point.
Tight game.
It was a tight game, there really wasn't a lot in it. Don't get me wrong, Motherwell are flying this season. Their recruitment's been really good. As Stephen Robinson likes to point out all the time, he gives young players a chance, etc. And you can't ignore how good a season they're having. But in the couple of games I've seen them against us, I don't think there's anything for us to fear, especially at Livi. I think we're more than capable of giving them a game, but I think it could be a good game of football. I think it could be
take a point.
Yeah, I probably would take a point. What we're thinking kind of team wise, because obviously we've made a few changes from our 3 games this week.
Good
so
point.
What are you thinking?
I don't think Suda will play.
For some reason I think Suda might miss out in this game, so I think that's quite an obvious change. Who would you have come in?
Who knows? Alan Forrest could be in. You never know.
Doubt it. For me, I think the obvious one's Robbo comes in.
Yeah, Robbo.
In there. I love Robbo. I think he's a brilliant player, really tenacious and really creative as well. So I think that would be the one obvious change.
Maybe an extra midfielder in. Perhaps like a central midfielder we play Sybil a bit further forward. Who knows?
I don't know. I think we're really settled with kind of 2 sitting and then 3.
Oh, yeah, I agree. Yeah.
And then 3 kind of in behind Dykes. So I think if there's going to be any changes, that's the most obvious one, which should don't know. For me, it's good. Gary always likes to say players are in possession of the jersey.
Oh yeah.
And I think McMillan's had a good game. Taylor-Sinclair's had just a really steady Eddie game. He's got a goal as well. I don't see the centre half pairing changing.
No. That's what it would maybe only be at fullback. Maybe Lawson's fit. I don't know.
Yeah, that's
happens.
Maybe the only other change, but yeah, I think probably only one.
It's again another cliche, but selection headache. I wouldn't like to be the gaffer.
Yeah,
but it's a great problem to have.
It's the position you want to be in, isn't it? Where you've got options available to you.
You don't want to be going, I don't want to play him. Do you know what I
mean? Obviously there is another return of a Livi legend, Decky, coming back.
What a man.
He's now actually Scotland internationalist, Decky.
Oh yeah.
As well now, so yeah, it'll be good to see him back, but I think that could be a right good ding dong between him and Dykes. They've got a bit of previous as well from the Queen of the South game, the 3-each game down there in the Championship. I think we were talking about it. I think they were probably on both of them riding the edge of the game, potentially getting sent off. So
I was raging that day. I was covering the game for Callum Carson. So I was in with obviously the press bit and with the Queen of the South fans. And we were 2-0 down. I'm like, oh no, go 3-2 up. And this from I was at the other side of the pitch.
Yeah,
watching, and the scenes in the Livi end were
Hardy
class that day.
When Hardy put us 3-2. All I remember from that game was mind the gap, Shabba Laszlo was when it really took off, and that literally ran about for half an hour at the end of the game. Brilliant. But now that's one. There's a couple of players that kind of think we'll need to look out Motherwell wise. Chris Long's
been good. Yeah,
Long looks like a really good signing for them, and scored a hat-trick the other week in the Cup. He's one of those strikers that I think, a bit like Hardy, if he gets the opportunity to have a dig, he'll go and have a dig.
Yeah, they've got a really strong midfield. You'd think they usually go 3 in midfield. They've got Alan Campbell, Liam Donnelly and Liam Polworth.
Donnelly's a player I
think he's their top
He's
scorer.
been getting interest from Celtic apparently, I was reading as well. He's got 10 goals from the middle of the park this season. So
international now as well.
Yeah, so He's another one we'll probably need to keep an eye out for. Motherwell, they play with kind of wide players as well, and but they didn't really cause us that many problems in either of the games. I think they brought Seedorf on the second game and he created the winner. But
we've always had tricky winners, Motherwell.
Yeah, was it Livi last season? They had one from Bournemouth, I think. He was really tricky, but the one Seedorf is another one that, you know, I think could cause us a few problems.
Hilton this year as well. I think they just got in Jolie.
Yeah,
lad from Bournemouth.
So yeah, I think Motherwell will be a big threat, but
at
the same time, I think we're playing that well just now that I think we're more than capable of imposing ourselves.
I reckon they're there to be gotten at. Sorry, defensively, they've got Gallagher, who we all know is quality. I think he's a terrific player. He's arguably one of the best centre halves in the league at the moment.
Yep,
but
can't argue with that.
His pairing wise, does Hartley come into our team? Does Dunn get into our team? Mugabe?
Nah.
I think
personally, I think Guthrie's been a great signing for us, and I think he's probably one of the form centre halves in the league, as you mentioned with someone like Decky just now.
I think if Dykes can nullify, that's going to be the battle of the whole game. I think Dykes and Gallagher. If he can nullify like Decky, I think going like off the ball, Lawless, Pittman, Dykes can bring them into play. Other than that, Gallagher's obviously the main one in their defence. If he's obviously nullified by Dykes, I think the likes of Pitts and Lawless can get in.
Yeah. Now, we always do our predictions, so Andy is now actually bottom of the league after results this week, which
nobody's going to believe me. Nearly went 4-2, I went 3-1, but knew there'd be lots of goals, knew the margin of victory, but thought 4-2 was a bit far-fetched.
Okay, I'll as leader, I'll let you go first. What are you thinking?
One each.
You know, thoroughly enough. That is exactly what I was going to go for. I was going one each as well.
Brilliant.
We'll get Andy's prediction prior to the game, because we don't want him saying, you know, the final score was what I predicted.
No, we'll let him do it at half time, but he'll probably still get it wrong.
Yeah. You know, he's so far behind, isn't he?
I know.
You know, hi down there. But
what's the weather like down there, bud?
Yeah. But yeah, so me and you both one each we're going for this week. So
take a point. They're a really decent side.
They're a good side. They're in good form. Yeah, I would take the point. So
nearly went 0-0, but I think we'll score.
Yeah,
obviously
we're scoring a lot of goals just now.
We mentioned our home defence.
Yeah,
it's different class. What was it? 5 goals conceded, you said? And we're the third top scorers in the league.
Yeah,
which is amazing.
So I think we're bound to score, but I think Motherwell have a bit about them.
Yeah,
I think a draw. But yeah, hopefully we see you all there at the Spaghetti Had for what is hopefully a good afternoon. So that's it for another episode of TalkLivi. Lots on again this week, so thanks to everyone who got in touch with questions, and to everyone who continues to listen to the podcast and get involved and interact with us on our social media channels.
You can find TalkLivi, of course, on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter by simply searching for TalkLivi. Hit like and follow to keep up to date with everything that we're doing. You can also find this episode and all of our other episodes on all good podcast streaming sites, with the likes of iTunes, Spotify, Castbox available.
All our episodes are also on our website, talklivipodcast.libsyn.com. Don't forget, we're also on YouTube. You can find us by searching TalkLivi. If you could hit the subscribe button, we'd really appreciate it, and feel free to leave comments as well, or reviews. It's quite clear to see we do take it on board. Andy's not been involved this week after Callum Carson and Derek getting in touch in particular with regards to that, so you know, we do appreciate your feedback.
So, but that is it for another week. Andrew may join us next week, who knows. We'll take again feedback on board, but from you and myself, thanks for listening. We'll hopefully see you at the game on Saturday as we continue our top 6 push.